Perfect. Okay. You are all set with that strap, blocks, and the pillow. Meanwhile, let me grab my blocks. That's perfect. So go ahead and we're going to find child's pose. So if you want, go ahead and bring your knees onto that pillow and then sinking your knees wide, reaching your arms out long. Let me get some music going. We'll need that. And just resting your forehead on the floor or on a block. Focusing here on your breath. Deep inhales, some deep exhales. Maybe setting an intention for class today. Maybe something you're thankful for. As you actively press your hips in towards your heels, reach your fingertips long to the top of the mat. Feeling your belly rise and belly fall with your breath. Feeling your belly, ribs, and lungs all the way to the top. Full exhale, lungs, ribs, and belly. Continuing here with your breath. After your next full exhale, gently walk your hands over to the left side of your mat. Place your left hand to the outside of your left knee and gently press into your left palm as you press your right shoulder closer towards the floor. Gently release your left hand to meet the right. Walk your hands back through center, this time over to the right side of your mat. Placing your forehead back on the floor if you lifted it, and then releasing your right hand to the outside of your right knee, pressing into your right palm as you gradually draw that left shoulder closer towards your mat. Gently release your right hand to meet the left. Walk back through center. Bend your elbows, bringing your palms to touch at the crown of your head. For a deeper tricep stretch, you can draw your thumbs down towards the nape of your neck. Holding here and breathing. Gently release your palms back down to the floor. Gently rise up, find a tabletop position. You can keep that pillow or bolster underneath your knees. Fingers spread wide, wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Tuck your toes, hammock your belly, and lift your gaze. Drawing your gaze up towards the ceiling. On your exhale, press the earth away and untuck your toes, creating space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, tuck your toes, gaze up towards the ceiling, drawing your navel towards the floor. Exhale, press the earth away. Draw your fingertips further apart from one another. Moving here through cat and cow with your breath a few more times. Back to a neutral spine. Bump your hips side to side, moving in any organic movement that feels comfortable for you today. Coming back to center, inhale, reach your right leg long, strong point through your right toes. Exhale, round your spine, knee to nose, crunch it in. Inhale, lengthen your right leg long. Exhale, rainbow that right leg up and over to the outside of your left ankle, left hip. Maybe gently looking over your left shoulder. You can rock forwards and backwards. Now come back through center. Gently release your right knee under your right hip. Come back to that tabletop. Hips move side to side. Come back through center. Inhale, lengthen your left leg long. Exhale, round your spine, crunch your knee in towards your nose. Inhale, lengthen left leg long. Exhale, rainbow left leg up and over to the outer right hip. Maybe gently looking over your right shoulder towards your left toes. Come back through center, releasing your left knee under your left hip. We're going to sink our hips back towards our heels, drive your knees wide, find your child's pose, reach your fingertips out long in front. Really reach them long as far as you can. On the next inhale, we're going to rock forward, keep your heels in towards your hips, stack your shoulders over your wrists, elbows tucked in, lower down for 3, 2, and 1. Releasing all the way down, extend, tap your toes. Draw your heels back in towards your hips. Press up for 3, 2, and 1. Gently press back to child's pose. We're going to repeat that one more time, this time lowering and lifting on a 5-second count. Hold it here for the exhale. Sinking deeper into the mat. On the next inhale, gently rock forward, heels in towards your hips. As you lower down slowly for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release all the way down. Extend your legs out long. Walk your feet in so that they're shoulder width and hip width apart with both wrists under your shoulders. Press that mini cobra. Exhale, release down. Extend your right arm out long from your right shoulder. Relax your right leg. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, tip onto that right hip. You can bend that left knee in front or behind, coming into broken wing as you open up your right shoulder and your left hip. Inhale, come back through center. Both hips, both shoulders press in towards the floor. Release your right hand under your right shoulder. Press that mini cobra. Exhale, release down. Gently release your left arm directly out from your left shoulder. Right hand stays under your right shoulder. Relax that left leg. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, tip onto your left hip. Maybe bend your right knee, tapping in front or behind your left leg. Opening up your left shoulder and your right hip. Inhale, come back onto your belly. Both shoulders, both hips pressed in towards the floor. Wrists under your shoulders. Press up, mini cobra. Release your palms. We lift your toes. Lower your palms. Lower your toes. Lower your chest. Walk your hand to your lowest rib cage. Press up, full cobra. Maybe coming off of your thighs into upward facing dog. Option to come through tabletop or press the hips up, coming right to your downward facing dog. Pedal it out, lifting and lowering one heel at a time. Down on both of your knees. Gently walk your feet in towards your wrists, coming into a forward fold. Plant the blocks on either side of the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift hands to shins or blocks, crown of your head pulling to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Release your left hand on the floor. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Circle out your right wrist. Switching sides, right hand down. Left arm up towards the ceiling. Circle out your left wrist. Gently release your left hand down. Pedal out your heels, lifting and lowering one leg at a time. Come back to that forward fold. Grab opposite elbows and gently sway from side to side. Let your neck hang nice and loose. Crown of your head pulling towards the mat. Inhale, sweep back through center. Release your hands towards the floor. Slowly rise all the way up. Shoulders are last to lift. Shoulders pulled up and back. We're going to sink our hips. Find your chair. Pulse it for 3. That's 2. And 1. Step your left leg back. Inhale, rise up. Arms overhead. Find your high crescent. Deep bend that front right knee. Hips are squared. Inhale, sweep the arms back. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sweep. Hold the hinge forward. Release your left hand to the inside of your right foot on the floor on a block. Sweep your right arm up. High lunge with a twist. We're going to draw that right arm down and forward. Left arm swivels open. Pivot your left toes. Open up. Find your warrior two. Inhale, lengthen. Big star. Exhale, bend into that right knee. Warrior two. Inhale, lengthen, big star. Hold it here. Tuck your left hand behind your back. Find your reverse triangle. Option to flex your right toes, drawing your right heel in towards the floor for archer. Gently plant your right foot back into the floor. Bring the arms out to a T. Reach your right arm forward over your right leg. Right arm down, left arm up. Finding your triangle. Left arm overhead. Opening up your shoulder. Maybe rotating that left arm a little bit further back, opening up your chest a little bit more. Draw that left bicep to your left ear, bend into that right knee. Right hand down towards the floor or to a block inside of your right leg. Find your extended side. Holding here and breathing. Pivot your hips and pivot your left toes. Bring your hands to heart center. Rotate your left elbow to your outside of your right knee. Twisted lunge. Hold that twist. Step your left foot to meet the right. Twisted chair. Rise up. Standing mountain. Swan dive forward. Bring your hands towards your feet. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step your right foot back. Step your left foot back. Come into your flow. Option to lower the knees. Into your chaturanga. Press up. And back to downward facing dog. When you get there, find your breath. Pedal it out, lifting and lowering. 1 foot at a time. Biceps frame your ears. Keep a deep bend in both the knees. Gently walk your feet towards your wrists, coming into that forward fold. Half lift, hands to shins. Back to that forward fold. Right hand is on the floor. Reach your left arm up. Option to bend into that right knee. Switching sides, left hand down. Reach your right arm up. Just right hand back down the floor. Grab opposite elbows, sway side to side. Come back into that forward fold. And just letting your head, letting your head hang nice and loose. Just swaying side to side. Letting everything go. Gently come back to center. Lengthen out your body. Slowly roll up all the way to the top. Crown of your head lifts up, roll the shoulders down and back. Sink your hips, weights in your heels. Find your chair. Chest is lifted. Nice. Pulse it for 3. That's 2. And 1. From here, step your right leg back. Find your high crescent. Deep bend in that front left knee. Both hips, both toes facing the top of your mat. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, rise. One more time. Exhale, sweep. Hold it here. Release your right hand to the inside of your left foot on the floor on a block. Sweep your left arm high. High lunge with a twist. Draw that left arm back towards your right heel, down towards your left hip. As you rise up, open up that right arm, pivot your right toes. My goodness, find your warrior two. Deep bend that front left knee. Hold it for the exhale. Inhale, lift, big star. Exhale, bend. One more time. Inhale, lift, hold it here. Left leg is straight. Tuck your right hand behind your back or down your right leg. Try to high five that wall behind you with your left hand. Keep that left leg straight. Rise up. Shoulders over your hips. Tee out your arms. Reach your left arm far over your left leg. Pivot your left arm down. Right arm up. Start by stacking your right shoulder over the left. To challenge your balance, you can gaze up towards your right fingertips. Maybe rotating that right arm up and back. Keep that left arm down. Draw your right bicep to your right ear. Bend into that left knee. Find your extended side. That left elbow can always rest on your knee or left hand on a block. Hold it here for one more breath. Pivot your right toes. Square out your hips. Coming into your high lunge. Bring your hands to heart center. Rotate your torso, drawing your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Trying to bring your hands at heart center. Stay here. Ground into your left foot and push off, bring your right foot to meet the left. Twisted chair. Inhale, rise up. Standing mountain. Exhale, swan dive forward. Step your left leg back. Step your right leg back. Find your high plank. Option to lower your knees. Slowly lower down. Full chaturanga. When you get there, untuck your toes. Press it up. Come through tabletop or directly downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Lifting and lowering one heel at a time. Keep a deep bend in both the knees. Gently walk your feet towards your wrist. Coming back to that forward fold. Half lift, hands to shins. Crown of your head pulling to the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Grab opposite elbows, sway side to side. Really let your neck hang nice and loose. We're going to sway all the way up and over. Sway to the left. Sway to the right. Bring it all the way up. Over the center, down to the left, just like a big old clock. Come back to that forward fold, just swaying side to side. We're going to start to the left, sway to the right, sway to the left, all the way up and over, towards the center and over to the right. This time counterclockwise. Back to that forward fold. Come back through center, release your hands towards the floor. And then bring your hands towards your hips. The long spine, rise all the way up. Standing mountain, sweep both arms up high. Sink your hips low. Find your chair. From here, you can reach your arms overhead. You can cactus your arms. You can bring your arms out in front. Any variation. Holding here for 2 more breaths. Pulse it for 3. That's 2. Third one, hold it low, set that left leg straight back. Squat the hips, draw your arms up high, high crescent. Exhale, sweep. Hinge forward, arms rise up and back. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sweep. One more time, we're gonna hold in the sweep. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sweep. Reach your left arm down, right arm up. Maybe gazing up towards your right fingertips to challenge your balance. You can also gaze down towards your right toes. Circle out your right wrist. Circle out your shoulder. Forwards and backwards. Your right hand down towards your right hip and forward as you pivot your left toes. Remember your left arm up and open. Find your warrior 2. You can widen your stance, make your stance more narrow, or just deepen into that right knee. Draw your fingertips long in opposite directions. Relax your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen. Big star. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen. Hold it here. Big star. Hold it for the exhale. Tuck your left hand behind your back or down your left leg. High five that wall behind you. Excuse me, finding your reverse triangle. You want to find an archer. You can flip your right toes to the ceiling. We can do this on the other side. We'll do it longer next time. Gently release your toes if they were lifted. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Tee out your arms. Reach your right fingertips long. Tick-tock your right hand down, left arm up. Find your triangle. Holding here and breathing. You can keep a micro bend in that front right leg. And you draw that left shoulder down and back. Draw your left bicep to your left ear, bend into that right knee. Extended side. Create a long line of energy from your right fingertips all the way to your right toes. Hold it here for one more breath. Opening up that right hip. Cartwheel your hands down, frame your right foot. Pivot your left toes, both hips and shoulders in one line. Bring your hands to heart center. Pivot, drawing your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Trying to bring your hands back to heart center. You can open up your wings if you'd like. With your wings open or your hands at heart center, press into that right foot, step your left foot to meet the right, twisted chair. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands plant on the floor or on blocks. Sweep your right leg back, left leg follow, lower all the way down. Press up, full cobra. Find your downward facing dog, pedal it out. Coming back to your breath. Maybe coming back to that intention that you set in the beginning of class. Just a gentle pedal of those heels. All right, deep bend in both the knees. Walk your feet towards your wrist. Forward fold. Half lift, hands to shins. Back to that forward fold. Grab opposite elbows, deep bend in both the knees. Sway side to side. We're going to start counterclockwise this time. So sway to the right, sway to the left, bring it all the way up. Up and around like a big circle. Down to the right. Very nice. Come back to that forward fold. Just swing side to side. Letting everything go. Sway left. Sway right. Bring it all the way up. Up to the center. Down to the left. And back through center. Release your hands towards the floor. And bring your hands towards your hips. The long spine. Rise all the way up. Crown of your head points to the top of the mat. Shoulders relax down from your ears. Sink your hips. Find your chair. Any variation of chair, you can bind your hands behind your back. Open up your chest and your shoulders. Arms overhead. Cactus. Wherever you're at, hold it for 2 more breaths. One more full inhale. And exhale. Hips are low. Pulse it for 3. That's 2. Third one, hold it low, step that right foot back, big step back. Rise up, stack the shoulders over the hips. Relax the shoulders down. Deep inhale, lengthen the crown of your head. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, rise once more. Exhale, hold the hinge forward. From here, reach your right hand down inside your left foot. Reach your left arm up. High lunge with a twist. Maybe circle out the left wrist, circle out the shoulder, forwards and backwards. Sweep your left arm down and back. Right arm rainbows up as you pivot your right toes. Find your warrior two. Very nice. Really lengthen those fingertips long in opposite directions. Maybe look down. Can you see your big left toe? Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend back to that warrior two. Inhale, hold it in big star. Hold it for the exhale. Inhale, release your right hand behind your back or down your right leg. Draw that left fingertip past the wall behind you. You want to find archer, flex your left toes, really digging your left heel in towards the floor. Drawing your left big toe down to your pinky toe, up to the ceiling. Hold it here for one more breath. Making up for lost time. Gently lower your left foot if it was lifted. Tee out the arms. Keep the legs straight. Shoulders stacked over your hips. Reach, reach, reach. Left fingertips over your left toes. Tick-tock your left hand down, right arm up. Find your triangle. Holding here. Maybe rotate your right shoulder further back. Triangle. Draw that left bicep to your left ear. Sorry, right bicep to your right ear, my goodness. Left knee bends. Keeping your left arm down towards the floor or on a block. You can always bring that left elbow to your left knee. Find your extended side. Deep inhale, deep exhale, keeping that left knee open. Pivot your right toes, frame your left foot. From here, rise up halfway, bring hands to heart center. Keep your hips square. Rotate your torso. Bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Maybe bring your hands back to heart center. Maybe stay there, open up your wings. Wherever you're at, hold it here for one more breath. Hands at heart center or arms open. Push off of that left foot. Reach your right foot to meet the left. Inhale, rise up, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Pedal it out. Step your left foot back. Step your right foot to meet the left. Gently lower down. Rest up. Full cobra. Come back to your down dog. How are we feeling? Do you want to go through it one more time a little bit faster? Or do you want to cool it down? What was that? Okay, yeah, no worries. Just don't want to jip ya. All right, from here, gently lower your knees to the floor or to that pillow. Allow your left or right hip to come down towards the floor. And then bringing your bottom on the floor. Keep a bend in the knees. Grab one block. Reach out long in front, shoulders stacked over your hips. You can keep the knees bent, or you can lay the legs out flat, your choice. On your exhale, slowly roll back. Think one vertebrae at a time. No such thing as too slow. Lower back, middle back, upper back. Once your head gently taps the floor, reach that block overhead, gentle tap. Bring that block back out in front. Walk your heels a little bit closer towards your hips if that's comfortable. Set the block off to your right hip or left hip. Inhale, reach your hips high. Gently place that block on its lowest setting underneath your hips. Slowly lower your hips onto that block. allowing your body to melt into that block, in towards your mat. You can extend one leg at a time. Maybe reaching both legs out long to the bottom of your mat. Gently plant the soles of both of your feet back to the floor, reaching one leg at a time up towards the ceiling. Maybe reaching your fingers towards your toes. Point flex, circle out your wrists, your ankles. Everything moving all class. Thinking everything that your body does for you, not just in this class, but every day. Supported, legs up the wall. Gently lower one or both of your feet at a time. Both feet are planted. Squeeze your glutes, lift your hips. Set that block off to the side. Gently lower your hips back down to the floor. Release your hands by your side. Let's do 2 bridges, lifting your hips. Drawing your chest in towards your chin. Gently release your hips down. Trying to keep your knees hip width apart. If that's comfortable, you can always walk your feet a little bit wider or more narrow. Inhale, lift. Stay here. Maybe bind your hands underneath your hips. You can draw your shoulder blades in a little bit closer together, lifting your hips a little bit higher. Maybe digging your heels in towards the floor, lifting your toes. Lower your toe, maybe lifting your heels. Gently lower your heels. Release your bind if you have one. Gently lower your hips all the way down. Draw your knees in towards your chest. You can grab that strap and gently bind it around your shins. You can grab the back side of your thighs or your shins and just rolling side to side. Gently come back to center. Allow your soles of your feet to come up towards the ceiling, finding your happy baby. You can continue to use that strap, maybe bringing your hands around the outer knife edge of each foot, or continue to hold the back side of each thigh. Any variation of happy baby that suits you today, you can roll from side to side. You can do a single leg happy baby by extending one leg at a time. And of course, what you do on one side, repeating on the other. Allow the knees to come back to the center. Starting with the left leg, bind your hands beneath your left knee on your left shin. Extend your right leg out long to the bottom of your mat. Flex your right foot to draw your right calf closer to the floor. Left knee avoiding your rib cage, drawing it up and out towards the left shoulder. Point, flex, maybe circle out your left ankle, wiggle your left toes. With your right hand, gently grab the outside of your left knee. Draw through the center over to the right side of your body. Maybe placing that left knee on a pillow or a block. You can hover and tap the floor. You're welcome to gaze up towards the ceiling or over your left shoulder for a deeper stretch. Maybe reaching your left arm long. Cactus your left elbow. And we come back to center. Draw your left knee in towards your left shoulder. And then allow the sole of your left foot to come to the inside of your right leg for reclined tree. That left foot can come anywhere on the inside of your right leg. If you're holding any tension, your hips or your knees, just let it go and allow yourself to melt into the mat. And then release your left leg to meet the right. Little mini Shavasana. And then draw both knees back in towards your chest. I promise we'll do a longer one. Keep that right knee in towards your right shoulder. Extend your left leg long. Flex through your left foot to draw that left calf closer towards the floor. You can point, flex, wiggle out your right toes. Avoiding your rib cage by drawing that right knee up and over towards your right shoulder. When removing pose on the right side. Left hand, gently guide your right knee over to the left side of your body. You can allow that right knee to just graze the floor, maybe rest it on a block or a pillow, or just hover in space. You're welcome to keep your gaze up towards the ceiling, or for a deeper stretch and supine twist, you can reach your right arm out long. Gently come back to center. Both shoulders, both hips in the floor. Draw your right knee back in towards your right shoulder. And then allow the sole of your right foot to come to the inside of your left leg. Anywhere along the inside of that left leg. Allow that knee to just fall open. You're squeezing your glutes. Retracting your knee. Just let it go. Extend your right leg out to meet the left, drawing your heels together, toes fall open, and just resting your fingertips by your side. Coming into your Shavasana, or any final resting pose that's comfortable for you today. Begin by wiggling your fingers and your toes. And gently drawing your knee into your chest. Rock and roll yourself a few times along your spine before finding your way to a comfortable seated position. Maybe rock your hips side to side. Gently draw your hands towards your knees and draw your torso into some circles. Doesn't matter which direction you start with. And then reverse it. Might feel different than the other. And then coming back to the center, sweeping both arms up high. Exhale, release your right hand to your left knee, gently looking over the left shoulder. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, left hand to right knee, looking over the right shoulder. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, hands to heart. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my practice with you each and every week. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening. Namaste. You're so welcome. I'm so sorry.